Hello there. After recapping my 2019 makeup favourites, it's time to move on to skincare. But not just skincare, I'm throwing in body and bath favourites, hair and hands, lips and nails, and even some scents. I'm certainly a makeup collector, but skincare is my one true love. I don't wear makeup every day, but I do go through my skincare routine every single day without fail. It's definitely the category I see as most important, but it's not something I talk about that often on my channel because it's so subjective. Everyone's skin is different, we have different skin types, and we can all have different reactions to the exact same product. So these are not recommendations, just what I've personally enjoyed, and you'll always have to be the judge of what will work for you. Many of the products in this video are brand new or fairly full because I recently used up a whole bunch. Currently gathering bits for an empties video, so let me know if that's something you'd be interested to see. I'm sure some of these products will come as absolutely no surprise. They've appeared in many of my other videos, but that's why they're favourites. In the morning, I always reach for these two tubes, my Dynamic Duo for hydrated, dewy skin. Glossier Priming Moisturiser is a lightweight fluid moisturiser. It's been on my channel so many times you'll probably know all of this off by heart. It's an every year favourite for me. This is probably tube number 20 something because it's the only thing I've worn every morning for 4 years straight. I just love the healthy, hydrated look it creates, and it preps the skin so nicely for makeup. Then my favourite step every single day, whatever the weather, is sunscreen. It's the most important thing you can put on your skin. I'm not only talking about the anti-aging benefits, but the life or death matter of skin cancer. You can see much more sunscreen content over on my Instagram at Matilda on video. Ultraviolet Supreme Screen SPF 50 was an absolute standout for me in 2019. Ultraviolet is a Melbourne sunscreen brand that launched a year ago and really made waves on social media by making sunscreen fun. This formula is so lightweight and smooth, even more light than the Mecca sunscreen I've raved about before, and again it just leaves my skin looking so healthy and glowy. So many friends have got into using this, from makeup artists to people in their 20s and even their 70s. I'll leave a discount code below for 20% off your order. I don't make any commission, I just love this brand. Onto my night routine. I really simplified my skincare steps in 2019 and had the best results ever. My skin was much clearer and more glowy. You obviously always have to do what works for you, but sometimes using so many different products and mixing and matching means you never really know what's working, so going back to basics was a good move for me last year. My key steps are cleanser, moisturiser, and face oil. That's it. Occasionally I like to start by removing my face makeup using Bioderma, the famous French micellar water that's a gentle cleanser. This one says Creoline because I bought it in France, but it's also called Sensibio. I find this particularly helpful as a first cleanse if I'm quickly removing makeup before a gym class, or if you live somewhere with a lot of air pollution. Even on days I'm not wearing makeup, I'm sometimes shocked by the colour of the cotton round from all the dirt and grime. Planning to switch to reusable cotton rounds in 2020. The cleanser I used every day last year was Avène Clénance, another French pharmacy brand. This bottle's brand new because I use a giant one in the shower. I have normal to dry skin, and even though this is actually formulated for oily or acne prone skin, I really enjoy gel cleansers like this that foam up to make my skin feel properly clean. And I do think it helps minimise any hormonal breakouts and keep other spots at bay. Moving on to my favourite moisturiser, Caudalie Vinosource Moisturising Sorbet. Sorbet is sort of the closest word to describe this texture. It's quite whipped and almost fluffy, so it feels incredibly light and refreshing on the skin. I've used a lot of Caudalie before, but first encountered this in 2018 during a Caudalie facial in Bordeaux, where the brand is from, and I haven't looked back since. Always have plenty of backups of these pink tubes on hand. My final and most game-changing step last year was face oil. I can pinpoint the exact day I started using it in December 2018 and haven't stopped since. Vintner's Daughter Active Botanical Serum was a purchase I did not take lightly. I'd read about it on Into the Gloss for years and deliberated for such a long time before taking the plunge because it's the most expensive product I've ever purchased. But this is now my third bottle, so that tells you how much I love it. I'd always been mistakenly told that oils would break me out, but this actually balanced out my skin, reduced hormonal breakouts, and dramatically improved my overall glow. There's another face oil I used and loved just as much for exactly 1/6 of the price. Go-To Face Hero has been just as much of a hero for my skin. This is one of my top Aussie brands, so I burn through these bottles more often. I had used it on and off in very small doses since the brand launched years ago, but I dived right in this year and would swim in Face Hero now if I could. It's a light oil, it doesn't feel heavy, and it revives my skin every time I use it. Soft, glowy, and plump in the morning. Moving on to exfoliation and masks, which aren't steps I use every day, just as needed once or twice a week. To keep my skin smooth and even in 2019, I loved Go-To's exfoliating swipies. These are little chemical exfoliating pads with lactic acid acid that I use once or twice a week and instantly see and feel results. I swipe both sides of the pad all over freshly cleansed, damp skin, let the solution sit for a minute, then splash my face with water to wash it away. It's amazing just how much softer my skin feels instantly. Then 2 face masks that have been consistent favourites for me for years, not just in 2019. Glossier Mega Greens Galaxy Pack is the brand's detoxifying mask that featured in my top 5 Glossier favourites video last year. This has a thick, creamy texture so it feels gentle on my skin and doesn't strip it, just leaves it feeling nice and calm and clean. I apply it for 20 to 25 minutes once or twice a week in the bath, then I always follow it with Glossier Moisturising Moon Mask, the second part of their mask duo and my favourite hydrating mask of all time. I've tried quite a few, usually with a much higher hype factor and higher price tag, but I haven't found anything that beats this for me. The slightly whipped texture feels so cooling on the skin and it leaves my face incredibly soft and hydrated. Plump, juicy, super smooth skin. I love using this on long flights, but it works well on a weekly basis too. Time for face mist. I'm an addict. They're something I use every day, several times a day. I love them to refresh my skin before I start my morning skincare routine, before I apply makeup, before I apply moisturiser at night to help it absorb. They can do it all. My absolute favourite is Jurlique's Rose Water Balancing Mist. I go through this at an alarmingly rapid pace. It's made in South Australia from real rose petals on the Jurlique farm and has the most heavenly, realistic rose scent. But if you're after something in the rose family at a much lower price point, I can't get enough of Heritage Store rose water. This is something I buy in bulk in the US. You can find it in beauty supply stores like Ricky's NYC and even Urban Outfitters. It's a super simple rose water spray that smells quite sweet, like the rose water essence you use in cooking. Simple but effective. For a heavier, more relaxing scent, I love Caudalie Beauty Elixir, their cult favourite face mist with quite an intoxicating rosemary and peppermint scent. It's such a nice way to refresh the skin and give a bit of a glow too. Plus the glass bottle is sleek, feels luxurious to use, and it's environmentally friendly. This body section is not brought to you by Necessaire. I'm just the biggest fan of their products and they're truly the only brand I need for my entire body care routine. I love the scents, the feel, their commitment to sustainability, and I love the results most of all. My infatuation with their range well and truly continued in 2019. Who would have thought body wash could be something you genuinely look forward to using at the end of the day, but this is it. I swap between eucalyptus and sandalwood, but there's also a fragrance-free option. The texture is so smooth and silky and foams up so your skin feels fresh but never dry. I definitely have a soft spot for eucalyptus, it's so refreshing, but I'm using sandalwood at the moment in the shower and I love that it's warm and woody but still smells fresh, not heavy. A new launch for Necessaire in 2019 was the body serum. I've never come across a product like this, but it's genius. We use serums on our face, so why don't we treat the rest of our body in the same way? It's sort of a comically large pump like a regular serum might be packaged in, but this is full of hyaluronic acid, that holy grail ingredient for hydration, and the texture is very cooling and light like a gel. It absorbs quickly and my skin instantly feels super soft. But then their body lotion is the perfect chaser, or you can mix the two together. This is the best body lotion I've ever used. It's not too heavy, but it's very hydrating, fast absorbing, and feels like the biggest drink of water for your skin. I wish you could feel the back of my hand right now because it's so soft. There's magic in this stuff. I don't know how they do it, but I'm so glad they do. I'll leave my 10% discount code for Necessaire in the description box. Don't make commission, I just love their products. But I've also linked to Nordstrom down below because they ship Necessaire to more countries, including Australia. Moving on to 2 bath products I couldn't get enough of in 2019, so much so that these are brand new bottles because I just stocked up on them both late in the year. Olverum Bath Oil is a product I discovered at the Indie Beauty Expo when I was in New York in August, and as soon as I walked past their stand and the scent hit me, I realised I'd seen this British brand before in Liberty in London. Their luxurious bath oil is their signature product with an intense mix of eucalyptus, lavender, verbena, lemon, lime, geranium, and rosemary that ticks just about every single box for me. If you come across it in a store, smell the inside of the lid, not the bottle itself, because those essential oils are intense. My eucalyptus obsession also includes these Neep eucalyptus bath salts. I first came across these in Paris and they're still something I try to stock up on. Seriously, I basically take an empty carry-on suitcase and fill it with French pharmacy favourites. The eucalyptus scent is so strong and realistic and it always reminds me of home. I started to step up my hair game in 2019 and discovered a few new products to help. You will have seen these in my festive Get Ready With Me. me. Playa is a Los Angeles-based clean beauty brand that described their approach to me as no makeup for your hair. Given anything hair-related is probably my least favourite beauty step, sounds good to me. I used their everyday shampoo and supernatural conditioner for the second half of the year and was really happy with the results. My hair felt clean but not stripped by the gentle coconut-derived shampoo, and the conditioner helped my hair stay smooth and sleek. The only downside was the bottles being quite hard to squeeze, but they've since redesigned the packaging to make that easier, so I'll have to give the updated version a go. The Dyson Supersonic hairdryer has basically been my holy grail hair tool for the last couple of years. You might have noticed I never comment on whether something is worth it or worth the money, worth the splurge, because that's always a personal call. I think that's really important, particularly when there's a high price tag like this. So all I can tell you is that for me personally, it's been the best hairdryer I've ever used, and I really do notice a difference between this and other salon brands. It dries my hair so much faster, it's incredibly quiet, it's fairly light and compact, and it's so easy to use for styling or a simple straight look. I was very late to the Kristen S party in 2019, but loved using her blow dry mist to cut down drying time. It sort of helped detangle and add a bit of shine too, so my at-home blow dry experience was made all the more enjoyable and satisfying using this. I also loved the Kristen S medium round brush to blow dry my hair and kind of turn the ends under a bit. I did notice that the bristles really fell out the first time I used it and still do every now and then. One section's completely gone here, so let me know if yours did that too. Bit of a shame because I like everything else about it. I'm also a big fan of these Dry Bar Hold Me hair clips. Just a Sephora points perk, but they're also sold in a set. I visited a few Dry Bar locations in LA for the first time last year and loved the concept. These have been so helpful sectioning my hair off to recreate something closer to a salon look at home. Time for some lip favourites now. The Fresh Sugar lip polish has been my go-to lip scrub for years. I try to use it once or twice a week just to gently even out my lips. It's sort of a thick texture and the brown sugar crystals taste delicious. My favourite lip balm of 2019 was By Terry's Baume de Rose by a mile. It's popped up many times on my channel now and was something I always heard British YouTubers rave about back in the day. Definitely lives up to the hype for me. It's very thick and luxurious with ingredients like rose butter, hyaluronic acid and vitamin E to nourish the lips. I love using a light layer of this before bed or more if my lips are in a bad way and really working it in so they feel smooth and plump. Also a big fan of the By Terry Baume de Rose liquid tube. The same idea as the balm pot with slight differences. This is a bit more lightweight, a bit more glossy, but still nice and nourishing and easier to apply on the go. This was in my 2019 makeup favourites video too in the gloss category, but it's so comfortable and nourishing that it feels more like a skincare product. I also got a lot of use out of the Bite Beauty Agave lip mask. I don't really treat this as a lip mask though, just a very thick lip balm. It feels really hydrating and smoothing and has a bit of a gloss to it. But I know they recently reformulated this, so please let me know if you've tried the new version and how it compares. I'm a serious hand cream person, can't go to bed without it, and there's usually one in every bag too. My top pick in 2019 was Rodin's Crema Hand and Body Cream. You can see I've almost finished it, and this was the biggest size. This is so luxurious to use, and the Jasmine and Neroli scent has become one of my all-time favourite product scents. It's so thick, it's almost like an ointment, so definitely only one I use before bed, but it does melt into your skin beautifully. Only a few more uses left of this By Terry Baume de Rose hand cream too. Another one that feels like a real treat every time you use it. This is more of a traditional hand cream texture, but there's something a little bit fluffy about it, so it feels quite light and absorbs nicely. It has that heavenly By Terry rose scent too. Go To Super Handy rounds out my top 3 hand creams of the year. We've gone from thickest to lightest too, because this formula has a slightly whipped, mousse-like feel that makes it quite light. Great summery orange blossom scent, and it's fast absorbing so you can get on with your day. 2019 was the year I took my nails to new heights. Really stepped up my polish routine with new brands and tools. You can watch a complete tutorial in my recent nail polish routine video, which had a huge response. Thank you for the amazing feedback. Definitely more polish content to come in 2020. 2 of my favourite shades in 2019 were HZ by Olive & June, the dusty pinky nude I'm wearing right now, and this manicure is on day 7 by the way. Starting to grow out a little bit around the cuticles, but still going strong. You can hear my tips for making polish last longer in my nail routine video where you'll see me paint my nails with this shade, Essie Gel Couture Bubbles Only. One of my favourite formulas with a great shade range, nice big brush and excellent wear time. I'll be sharing more of my favourite colours soon. Then 3 tools made my routine go from looking fairly neat to tricking everyone into thinking I'd gone to a salon. They were the Olive & June top coat, a super shiny, long wearing top coat that's really been the finishing touch that makes my mani wear time last up to a week. Great glassy finish. The Olive & June cleanup brush, such a simple idea but it's made all all the difference. It's just a slightly rounded brush to clean up around the cuticles and remove any untidy bits. And the Olive & June Cuticle Serum that makes messy cuticle oils a thing of the past. It's an easy cushion tip applicator to keep your cuticles looking hydrated and healthy, and it's almost all absorbed by the time you've done the last finger. I'm calling this final category scents, but it's a slightly random mix of deodorant, perfume, and candles, all with fragrances I absolutely loved last year. Does it come as a shock that I'm into eucalyptus deodorant too? Malin & Get's famous formula was a new discovery for me in 2019, and this is already my second tube. I used to hate roll-on deodorants because they still felt a bit damp when you started to get dressed, but this one doesn't do that at all. It's lightweight, doesn't feel sticky, and definitely keeps me smelling fresh for far longer than any other formula I've tried. My favourite perfume in 2019, and the only one I've worn every day for 7 years, it's Jo Malone Red Roses. I'm a real signature scent person and love that this light floral fragrance has become so familiar to my friends. I don't really mix and match with other perfumes, but after so many requests, I am planning a perfume video this year that will be more of a walk down memory lane of what I've worn at different times in my life. And my constant candle favourites to finish. You can find a big diptyque collection video on my channel describing many of their different scents, but my top two are always Geranium Rosa and Bay. Geranium Rosa smells very green and fresh, like geranium leaves. I sort of saved this one up because it's not available in Australia, whereas Bay is something I burn more often. Just finished one and shared how I clean and repurpose my candle jars, so you can find that in a highlight on my Instagram at Matilda on video. This one smells light and fruity and floral at the same time, and I love that the diptyque wax is very firm, so it's easy to clean any dust off the surface with a tissue. That's it, a big old pile of skincare, body and hair products that made 2019 one of my best years yet in terms of self-care. Let me know if you've tried any of these products, what you thought of them, and make sure you share your top skincare picks of 2019 in the comments. I'd love to hear what your holy grail steps were last year. That's my 2 videos recapping 2019 done, so it's time to look towards 2020 and a range of content I can't wait to get stuck into. Make sure you're subscribed for some exciting topics and new reviews to come. Thanks for watching. See you next time.